I got no money at all. They all said it was lovely last week.
Well, yes. I mean, it's always beautiful the week you haven't been there, isn't it? But the advantage of the wind is it keeps the midges away.
Don't like midges.
No, I'm not fond of them myself.
Freezing cold winds.
Well...
And people come here to stay, you know.
Yes. Anyway, I had a lot of fun. I don't think you enjoyed the adventures as much as I did, but I had a lot of fun.
You got jolly cold in the middle of the river.
I know, but it did have its incentives.
It had the fish.
And the fishermen, yes, quite. And...
I must say, the fish here is wonderful. I'll give it that.
Yes. Anyway, well done.
Well done. Very good help. And to bonny Scotland. Aye.
Further information about these recipes can be found on CFAX, page 580.
Your whole personality could be shaped by where you're born in the family. Me first.
Grab that crab, Clarissa. Eat that meat, Jennifer. Why doesn't that pheasant look pleasant? Fasten your taste buds for gastronomic ride. Because two fat ladies are itching up to get into your kitchen. Yeah! Oh, yes.
Don't forget to stop before you go in the harbour.
I came over the top.
There we are. Ooh, look, hello.
Good morning to you.
Can we get some crabs from you?
Yes, we have some crabs.
Oh, good.
Would you by any chance have a splendid cod or two?
We have, yes, we have some cod as well.
We're in luck.
Indeed, we are. Very
I'll
fortunate.
go and undo the basket.
We've also been doing some cooking on the way in, so you can try
Oh,
some
look,
of our
Jennifer.
local fare.
Thank you.
Okay.
Those are better than a prawn. Aren't
Longestine, aren't they, really? Delicious. Look at that. Look, look, look. Isn't that lovely? Breakfast, too. Thank you.
they? Right, let's see what we can fit in here.
Surely, yes.
Yes.
Let's see what we have. Would you like a normal, small, or...
Yeah, well, I'll take as many as I can fit in.
I'm sure you will.
I think that's probably enough.
So another one?
Well, for
Another
luck.
one for good luck, eh?
Yes, for breakfast.
For breakfast.
Wonderful.
And I'll put the crab separate on the top.
That's a great big fellow.
Make sure you shut the basket properly, because I don't want them down the back of my neck.
No, I will. What a
Yes.
basketful. What a pretty kettle of fish.
Well, Jennifer, off to cook for jockeys at Kelso.
Time for a little flutter.
Indeed.
Better not feed the jockeys too much, might slow them down.
The racecourse is on the Duke of Roxburgh's estate, and he's kindly said we can cook in his kitchen. Pull up here and ask. After that horse. Morning.
Stop.
Yeah. Hello?
Good
Morning. We're looking for the kitchens of the castle.
Just carry on down the road. It's on your left.
And we're cooking for you and some of your colleagues. I think there are about 12 of you after the racing.
What are you cooking for us?
Light, we were told. Light for little jockeys.
Okay, well, good luck. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you later.
Quite a suitable home for a duke. I hope the butler's expecting us.
Follow me, ladies. We've got a long way to go yet.
Lovely, this room, isn't it? Wonderful tapestries. Oops, he's gone. Come on, Jennifer. We'll lose him. Trot on. What on earth are you looking for?
I'm looking for a mallet for the crab. I don't like those pincers. Vermicelli, indeed. There we are. Labelled under vermicelli, just what I want.
You want vermicelli?
No, I want the mallet.
Oh. Good filing system.
Extraordinary. I knew there'd be one somewhere. Right, well, I'll get this meat out.
I'm cooking green beans with Roman mustard. And she's bashing up crabs. The Roman mustard is a genuine Roman recipe, straight from the pages of Apicius. And what I've got in here is some mustard seed, which I've soaked overnight in grape juice and red wine vinegar. The original recipe called for verjuice, but the nearest I can approximate to that is the combination of those two.
What exactly is verjuice?
Well, it's a type of apple vinegar.
Cider vinegar?
No, it's too light. It hasn't got enough body to it.
Not enough body.
And I've also added to that a few cumin seeds and a bit of salt. And I'm going to put it in the blender. Nice old blender. And then to that, I'm going to add some blanched flaked almonds and some pine kernels and a bit of salt.
It looks extremely good. Would you call it a condiment?
Well, yes, I suppose so. A condiment, a tracklement. It keeps forever. I mean, you just, once it's made, you put it in a sealed jar and keep it in the larder for ages and ages. You don't want to process this too much, just till they're bashed about a bit. Lovely. And here I have some green beans, which I've just topped and tailed.
Something chewy in the mustard.
And just cook them for about 5 to 8 minutes. Right, well, I've got to get on with chopping things, so how are you getting on?
What I'm up to is I'm doing hot buttered crab. We're in quite the right part of the country because we've got the crabs straight from the sea, and they'll be absolutely delicious. They do take a bit of time, and if you have a friend who can help, all the better. Or some people even have people to read to them while they're doing it. But if you just settle down to it, you get through it in the end, and you get better and better as you go along. Now, I've got the flesh there, which I shall now mix with everything else. I've got half my butter. Then we want to put in garlic. Garlic goes very well with crab. And anchovies. Surprise, surprise.
It's quite cool having a race course on your doorstep, isn't it?
Yes, just pop out. I'm just popping over for the 2:30 or something.
Apparently, the relevant duke who started building it, I think it was the 5th one, was celebrating the fact that he had, at the age of 86, just fathered his first son.
Oh, bravo.
It doesn't relate to whether he'd been practicing for years or whether he was a late starter.
But they can go on forever doing that, can't they? But I don't know what sort of a specimen he was. Now we're going to put in good old lemon juice for one. A darn good dash of Tabasco, depending how hot you like things. I mean, put in as much as you want. Stir the breadcrumbs in. Now, I think I'll put a little grated nutmeg. Do use fresh nutmeg. It makes all the difference. Vermouth. About 4 tablespoons, I would say. The vermouth always gives a very good scent. Parsley. Time for the crab. Pile that in. This should cook all in all for about 5 minutes because you don't want to cook the crab again. So just sort of get it heated through. Now I've got the other half of my butter, which I shall add in. It can take a lot of butter, crab. Sucks it up. Mix that all in. Give it a taste. Doesn't need a lot of seasoning. I'll give it a little pepper.
Looks lovely. It smells lovely, too.
All nicely mixed. Then we start filling our beautiful crab shells. Lovely creatures. Straight from the sea this morning.
Right. Well, you'll be stuffing those for a bit. These beans should be cooked by now. So I'm just going to drain these beans. keep the water for stock. And to that, I'm going to add a bit of the mustard oil and the mixture of chilies and garlic that I've just been chopping up, and some of the mustard I've so lovingly prepared. And the beans. And fry that all up. And I'll mix it all in well. And then put the pan to one side, and a final touch to the beans, a hot dressing. Put the some more mustard oil into the frying pan, and into that I'm going to add some cumin seed and some more mustard seed that I've just bashed about a bit in this pestle and mortar. And let it heat up, and then you'll be able to tell when the mustard seed and the cumin seed is cooked, because it'll start popping at you. Leave that on there for a bit. Now, look at this smashing serving tureen I've got for my beans.
Really handsome, beautiful tureen.
Minton, that'll do nicely. Try not to drop that. And just put them into the tureen. And there, now you can hear the frying pan popping away. And then just push this over the top.
Browned.
Yep.
Very good, that smell of them popping.
Isn't it? And put the lid on. And that'll keep very nicely. And you can, in fact, eat it cold or even lukewarm. Though, those look very dainty.
And what I do now is I sprinkle on a little more breadcrumbs. Not too much, it's just for the browning effect. A little gratiné on the top. And funnily enough, the French call the aristos being of the gratin, which means upper crust.
Oh, ha.
Then a dainty sprinkling of parsley. Now there they are, they're all ready. And you can leave them to cool in the shells and then reheat them in a hot oven or under a grill just before you're going to eat them. So you get this nice bubbly, crusty top. And very good it is, indeed.
I need a pound of flour, but there doesn't appear to be any in this rather lavish kitchen.
Oh, it's typical, isn't it?
And don't suggest a supermarket.
No, there's a wonderful mill. I know you won't go into an ordinary little shop, will you?
Good God, no. A little shop, but it's those big things.
To the mill, the mill! Discharge trough feed hopper. A wonderful place.
Amazing. I hope we can get some flour here.
There's nobody about.
Hello? Hello?
Shop?
Cooey! Well, we got some grain, some wheat there. We could probably do it ourselves, Jennifer.
We'll probably get arrested.
Well, won't be the first time. Wonder where it turns on.
Now here's a wheel, something like a ship's wheel.
Yeah, that'll be it. Now, I'll watch the main wheel and you turn that, Jennifer.
Quite stiff.
Yeah, well, it will be, but just put some weight into it.
I will. And who better able? Ah, things are happening here. Very exciting. Heaven knows what may happen.
Well, I hope we can have a pound of flour out of it.
All this for a pound of flour.
Stand clear below.
It's working. Look, beautiful.
Oh, lovely. Let me see. That's the miller's thumb, you see, the thumb test. Make sure it's properly ground. It's known as the golden thumb because millers were quite rich.
Golden thumb. I thought it was to do with drugs.
Well, it probably is nowadays.
Now, another of your little weird folk tales.
Indeed. Right, I think that's
Oh,
enough.
more than enough, I would say. Look at it. Can you manage?
Yeah.
Gosh,
Several loaves.
several loaves of healthy brown bread. Yeah.
I suppose you like white plastic bread.
No, I hate it. I like crusty white.
Look, lovely flour.
Amazing to have one of those ground flour. Right sort of stuff.
Very good, these kitchens. They're great training grounds. My mother had a cook who trained at Chatsworth with the Devonshires.
Well, I think that would have been a training indeed. Running up and down like mad. They weren't convenient, were they? Not at all.
Well, servants don't deserve planning. Right, well, I'm going to make bambrack with rhubarb for those lovely jockeys. So what I've got in here is just some mixed dried fruits. And I'm going to add to it 6 ounces of caster sugar and some finely chopped peel, orange and lemon peel mixed. And then I'm going to pour onto this a pint of cold tea. This is just ordinary breakfast tea, which I've made and allowed to get cold. Now that must be allowed to soak for between 6 and 8 hours. But fortunately, this is one a friendly footman did earlier. And here, I've just got some butter, which I've softened and creamed. Break into it an egg, which I'm just going to mix up. I'm just going to put a pinch of flour into it to help it to stay together. And now, into the soaked fruit, I'm going to sieve the flour. You have to sieve this type of flour because you never know what you may find in it.
The hidden dormouse.
Indeed.
Going through beautifully.
Isn't it?
Yes, very finely milled, I think.
I know, perfectly. All those good golden thumbs we've got. There, that's about half the flour. I'm just going to stir this in. And I'm going to put in a teaspoonful of mixed spice and a scant teaspoonful of baking powder. And a bit more flour. Well, that's about 2/3 of the flour now, and it's, as you can see, sort of thickening up and stiffening up. And I'm going to put the butter and egg mixture in now. And really mix it in well. You don't want any lumps. Right, and finish off the rest of the flour. There we are. Look, there's quite a lot of bran left in the bottom.
I just can't eat bran. I find you just chew and can't actually make the final swallow.
Yes. There we are. Right, pour that in. I've got a baking tin which I've greased and lined. Scrape it all in. There we go. And I'm just going to put this into the oven. Right, I'm going to perfectly poach some rhubarb to go with the bambrack. And what I've got here is just some pieces of rhubarb, because I've peeled off all the long sort of messy bits from the edges, and just cut the rhubarb into inch pieces, put it into the pot with a bit of sugar, and just a little bit of water. I don't want too much water, just a little bit. Start the juice running. So I'm just going to put that on and leave it for a very short space of time. I don't want it overcooked. I want it in solid lumps. So
I'll get on with my stuffing. I'm going to cook a fine cod, a stuffed cod. Look at the beautiful creature. Marvellous. Fresh again from the sea. We're so lucky. What I've got here is a bowl of breadcrumbs, about half a pint. Then shove in the ham. About 2 tablespoonfuls of ham. Then we've got the chives, about 2 tablespoonfuls. A couple of pinches of thyme, fresh thyme. The grated zest of half a lemon. Now we'll put some grated onions. Then squeeze half a lemon in. And my favourite little creature, the nutmeg grater. A good scrape of nutmeg. A little bit of salt. Not too much, remember the ham. And quite a good amount of pepper. And I've got here, it can be either butter or bacon fat. And stir this in, it gives a very good flavour. And about a tablespoon of parsley. Mix it all together. Now we can stuff our lovely cod. I'm going to cover the whole fish in lemon juice and the inside. Put lots in there. And it's got a fine cavity. And I think that's just about the right amount of stuffing to put into it. Okay, the thing about stuffing is the excitement when you open it up later. Now we have to sew it up. A bit of convent training comes in useful here.
Convent training?
Yes, they taught you how to sew. Nobody knows how to sew nowadays.
Yes, well, surgeons sew.
But they sew in a completely different way, don't they? You should know with your father.
Yes, he used to spend all his time sort of practicing knots with his left hand. And I remember my mother said that when they were courting, it used to drive her mad because she'd find he'd been doing it to her hair without thinking.
A fun way to start a marriage.
Yes, couldn't get any better. It's very neatly done.
Not a scar, sir, not a scar. There we are. Now, this is already in a well-buttered tray, and I'm going to add to it, first of all, about a pint of good tomatoes, peeled and chopped up. Mushrooms. A sprinkling of shallot. Spread them about. All these juices will come out once it's cooking. And then a final sprinkling of parsley. Now it's ready for the oven, but I must cover it.
Yes.
Have you got a tip?
No, not really, Jennifer, no.
No tips?
Well, I think it's probably better if we do our own thing, because, I mean, one can fall out badly, you know, if tips don't turn up, really, I would think.
Oh, I wouldn't take them from you. I always choose things because of the name. The name must have some sort of connection.
Yes, well, that's what amateurs do, isn't it?
Absolutely. And they don't do too badly sometimes.
No, I'm sure you're right.
I cook for about 20 minutes in the hot oven.
Good, we can go racing. I don't want to miss the horses saddling up in the paddock.
Oh, no, I'm sure we don't.
And couldn't you ask that nice butler you were just chatting up if he'd turn it off all the time?
Perhaps I'd ask him to take it out.
I
Yes.
would.
Right.
Useful to have a butler.
In my opinion, butlers ought to know their place and not to play the old retainer night and day.
Come on, let's go racing.
These are quite different. These are sweet butlers, aren't they? That's a good crowd.
Yeah, it's not bad, considering it's a sort of weekday. That was the bell, Jennifer, so that means they're mounting up, so perhaps we ought to go and place a bet, do you
We
think?
should. I think that one's getting out of hand.
Can I have £20 to win Blooming Spring? No, £10 each way, Blooming Spring.
Number 4, a blooming spring, £80 to 10 each way, ticket 14.
There you are, there's my investment for
Thank you, best of luck.
Thanks very much
Thank
indeed.
you, Phil.
Okay, well, I'll see you after the race, no doubt.
No doubt. Well, I hope not.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I don't really know a lot about horses, and I don't really know how to go about it. I wonder if you could be a bit of a help to me. You look Absolutely, as though
Delighted.
you know everything.
Delighted, madam. Absolutely delighted. Do you go on colour or the name or?
Yes, I like a name. I want this Lord of the Lands.
He's got no form, but you don't mind that at all.
No, I'm all for them
Fine,
having
fine,
no
fine,
form.
fine, I see.
It's what prisoners have.
Yes, all
Right.
right. Now, may I put the bet on for you to save you going up and down?
Oh, I'd love you to.
What, a sort of a
Tomorrow.
tenner each way?
I would think so, don't you?
Absolutely right, yes.
And see my horse there, it's lying third now, isn't
Oh,
it?
good.
Yeah, that's a good place to be.
Yes.
It's a long run in front. It is just Lord of the Land. Very tight between them. Lord of the Land still has the advantage. Might have held on from a range. Mr. Sarif in third position and in fourth with Lover.
Very well. They're good on that one. Can I do you anything for the next one?
No, I don't think so.
Happy thought, I fancied.
Big price for us, a 33 to 1.
Oh, lovely. I'll have a fiver on that to win.
5 for a win.
Yeah, that should see me right.
165 to 5. We think it's 15. You won't be back for that one.
You watch me.
Carrying on the theme,
Yes.
Duke's Delight.
Right.
Duke's
Duke's Delight.
Duke's Delight has the lead now inside the final 50 yards. Has begun to draw ahead from Thunderheart in second. Secret is staying on. But it's Duke's Delight and Logan White who go on to win.
I really fancy my chances in that race. 5 to win political mandate
5 for win number 12.
and a 5 place Jack Dory.
Raja.
Raja. Keeping to the ducal
Let's keep
theme.
it. Yeah.
Raja, number 10.
And Raja makes a debut at
Raja.
and an
Raja.
winning one as well. Hard held, he wins. Brianna in second and Happy Blake in third place. And Glacial Girl in
Oh dear, well,
Hard cheese, yeah? Hard cheese. This is what they do in films, don't they?
hey! I'll see you down
I
there.
make my garments.
Okay.
Hello, dear sir. How have I done?
Well, I think actually we've done fairly well because we had 3 races. Have you got your bag ready?
Yes,
That's one lump.
that's great.
That's about 300 pounds.
Not bad.
There's another 450 there, which, as we say in Scotland, is nae bad. And finally, we seem to have another 500 pounds. How does that suit?
Seems a very good method.
Wonderful.
Golden crunchy, fresh from the sea, hot buttered crab, delicious. Baked to perfection. A fine specimen stuffed codfish with tomato sauce.
An ancient Roman twist to this vegetable dish, green beans with mustard. Delicious rhubarb balm brack. The jockeys will have to gallop it off before the weighing room. It's been a brilliant day. It's just pity one hasn't won more money, really, but I'm sorry about that, Jennifer. No treats.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. No, don't worry. I've got lots.
Lots? Where
Yes.
from?
Well, I met this gentleman. He was all covered in things, you know, for racing. And I said I didn't know much about it. So I chose the names and the colours I liked, mostly to do with the Duke. Lord of the Land, which is this here land. And then another one called Duke's Delight. And then I plumped for a Raja. And look what I've got. Lots.
How much? Lots?
Treats all round. Off to Capri.
What a lovely thought. Well done. Well, much respect, as they say.
Your health.
Well,
And the pursuit of love. Leave the love out of it. Stick to the money. It's a very simple way to make money.
Well, it's not always like that, Jennifer. Some of us haven't.
Take the name of the colour, that's what I always say.